Hi, my name is Felix Ndirango. Welcome to my channel. Felix Ndirango is the name of my channel. I hope you enjoyed my last video where we talked about the time, how to say the time in German. That is part 7 of my video. Today we are going to learn some grammar, German grammar. And as you can see here in front of you, we have conjugation of verbs, which in German we say Konjugation von Verben. Konjugation von Verben. So, what is conjugation of verbs? Conjugation is the changing of verbs, conjugation is the changing of a verb's form to express a different person, number, tense, or gender. Again, conjugation is the changing of a verb's form to express a different person, number, tense, or gender. And what is an infinitive verb? We're going to learn some grammatical term. An infinitive verb is a verb as it appears in the dictionary. Almost all German infinitive verbs end with N or en. So that is the definition of an infinitive verb. Now here we have examples of German infinitive verbs. Examples in German is Beispiele, Beispiele. So infinitive, infinitive. So the first one here we're going to learn is the verb sein, sein, which means to be. Haben, haben, which means to have. Heißen or heißen, which means to be called. Wohnen, wohnen, which means to stay. Kommen, kommen, to come. Lernen, lernen, to learn. Arbeiten, arbeiten, to work. Leben, leben, to live. Spielen, spielen, to play. And then we have studieren, studieren, which means to study. Again, let me go through them without the English translation. We have sein, haben, heißen, wohnen, kommen, lernen, arbeiten, leben, spielen, studieren. So these are the first verbs that we are going to learn, and the verbs that we are going to conjugate. So let's go to our next slide. We also need to know what a verb stem is. A verb stem in German is Verb Stem, Verb Stem. So we are going to learn the verb stem of a verb and the personal pronouns in German. So the stem of a verb is what remains when the ending en is removed. So for example, verb stem of kommen and lernen, these are two verbs, kommen to come, lernen to learn, is when you remove the en. If you remove the en, you remain with what we call the stem of a verb, which in the first one, kom is the stem of kommen, learn is the stem of lernen. So it is from this stem that you put or you add the correct ending, as we are going to see in the next slide. But before we do that, let's learn the personal pronoun, the personal pronoun of in German. The first one is how to say I in German is ich, ich. To say you is du, du, and du in German is a familiar form of address. As we are going to talk later more in detail, German language has what we call familiar form of address and polite form of address. So du, which means you, is familiar form of address. Familiar form is used to, it's used with relatives, schoolmates, classmates, and if you are talking to small children, you use du or familiar form. To say he is er, er. She is sie, sie. It is S. S. We is wir. Wir. You, familiar plural, is ihr. The plural of du is this one, ihr. And they is sie. And you, polite form singular or plural, is also sie. As you can notice, there are three z. One, that means she. The second z means they. And the third z means you. You can see that they are all in capital letters, but the first two z, she and they're supposed to be small letter unless they're beginning a sentence. But the last one, z, is always capitalized whether it's beginning a sentence, in the middle of a sentence, or at the end of a sentence. So these are the personal pronouns in German. Let me repeat them again without the translation. Ich, du, sie, es, wir, ihr, sie, and sie. So our next slide here is now we are going to conjugate the verbs, verb conjugation. You can see we have the personal pronoun on top here, and the verbs are vertically here. So to conjugate sein, you say ich bin, du bist, sie, es ist, wir sind, ihr seid, sie sind, sie sind. To conjugate haben, to have, ich habe, du hast, sie, es hat, wir haben, ihr habt, sie haben, sie haben. To conjugate heißen, which means to be called, you say ich heiße, du heißt, sie, es heißt, wir heißen, ihr heißt, sie heißen, sie heißen. To conjugate wohnen, to stay, ich wohne, du wohnst, sie, es wohnt, wir wohnen, ihr wohnt, sie wohnen, sie wohnen. To conjugate the verb kommen, to come, ich komme, du kommst, sie, es kommt, wir kommen, ihr kommt, sie kommen, sie kommen. To conjugate the verb lernen, to learn, is ich lerne, du lernst, lernt, sie lernt, es lernt, wir lernen, ihr lernt, sie lernen, sie lernen. To conjugate the verb arbeiten, to work, you say ich arbeite, du arbeitest, sie, es arbeitet, wir arbeiten, ihr arbeitet, sie arbeiten, sie arbeiten. To conjugate the verb leben, to live, you say ich lebe, du lebst, sie, es lebt, wir leben, ihr lebt, sie leben, sie leben. To conjugate the verb spielen, you say ich spiele, du spielst, sie, es spielt, wir spielen, ihr spielt, sie spielen, sie spielen. To conjugate the last verb here, studieren, you say ich studiere, du studierst, sie, es studiert, wir studieren, ihr studiert, sie studieren, sie studieren. So don't forget that ich means I, du means you, he, sie, she, es is it, wir is we, ihr is you, plural familiar, sie is they, and z, capital letter, means you, polite form, plural and singular. So in our next video, we are going to see how verbs in German are conjugated in different situations and different sentences. So don't forget to join me in my next video so that we can learn together. Don't forget to stop the video to rewind if you find it necessary. So before I go, don't forget to click the subscribe button to support my channel. So see you on my next video. Cheers. Bye.